Hello everyone, it's Riz. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. All right, so we're here because I want to show you guys my new makeup technique that I was raving about yesterday on Instagram, specifically my Instagram stories. Here's what triggered it. I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit of a backstory before we get started, because I think it's important you should know. So I have been fed up with my makeup routine for the longest of time. I think it's just the professional makeup artist in me. If you guys don't know, if you're new here, or if you just have no clue, I was a professional makeup artist for, I'd say, almost 10 years. And so when it comes to learning new techniques, I'm all game for it, right? But I've been doing the same routine for, shoot, y'all, I don't even know how long, and I just got bored. My makeup wasn't looking how I wanted it to look. I, like my skin to be porcelain and flawless, but still look like skin. And that's kind of a hard technique to master. So the thing that triggered it, I actually purchased Morphe's new foundation, and I say new because it was new to me. I feel like it's been out on the market for quite some time now. Let me just apply some lip balm, girl, because these lips is crusty. So I went to Ulta, spent a nice little penny. I bought the new Morphe foundation and the new Morphe sponge. To make a long story short, I came home, I tried both of the products, and they were absolutely horrendous. Okay, I mean, I was so irritated because I was already having a bad day. My child is going through her last mental leave, and so she was on 10. I had spent an hour doing my makeup only for me to just go to the bathroom and wash it right off because I had some campaigns to shoot that I needed to turn in. And I returned the foundation and the sponge because I couldn't deal. And so when I was redoing my makeup, I was watching a lot of my favorite artists on YouTube just to kind of, re-inspire me to learn some new techniques, play around in makeup. And I needed a woosah, right? So me sitting down at my vanity, doing my makeup, beat my face down to capacity is like my thing that I do to just, and so that's what I did, and I ended up creating a new routine that I just absolutely fell in love with, and there was no way I could just keep doing it and not show you guys. And so here we go. I'm about to show you guys my new technique. So my eyebrows are already done. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So I have nothing on my face except for my skincare and my primer. Now for my primer, I used an oldie but goodie, y'all. I used to love this collection. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus collection. Specifically, this is their Rose Primer Serum. And I pulled this out of my makeup chest and I used it today, and I just totally forgot how in love with this stuff I am, you guys. This is such a good serum. Unfortunately though, I believe the Photo Focus collection was limited edition and it came out years ago. So I apologize in advance, but I also advise you to just use a primer, or one of my favorites. Let me just show you guys. One of my favorites is the Too Faced Plump and Prime Luxury Face Priming Serum. Such a good primer, and it's skincare too, so it's kind of like a 2-in-1 type of situation. So I would just advise you definitely need some type of hydrating or moisturizing primer if you want your base to be flawless, even if you have oily skin. All right, so now that that's done, this is a new step that I have incorporated into my new makeup routine. I'm gonna take an oil. This one specifically is the ELEMIS Superfood facial oil, and I'm just gonna apply just literally like a few drops, probably not even 2, like 1.5. I'm gonna apply some on the back of my hand, and I am actually going to apply this underneath my eye. Now, I believe you can use any type of facial oil that you have as long as it's lightweight. You kind of don't want like a heavyweight facial oil especially underneath your eyes, because that'll just turn disastrous. So what I like to do is just take the oil and apply it underneath my eyes. Now, the reason why I do this now is because I found that when I apply my concealer and set it with a setting powder, a loose setting powder, my under eyes get so dry, and I think it's because I use benzoyl peroxide at night, and you guys know that can, you know, dry your face out really, really badly. And so I just hated the way my under eyes looked when I set my concealer with the setting powder. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. So there has to be kind of like a trick to combat that, and I'm going to show you guys the other trick, but this is the first one. You want to apply a facial oil underneath your eyes specifically, or you definitely want to concentrate it in this area right here. And then also I'm using a mini Real Technique sponge that is damp, and I will definitely have all of these products that I am mentioning in this video in the description box, so if you're interested, make sure you check that. All right, so now we're going to move on to complexion. Now, y'all know me, I love to spot conceal because I am still actively working to fade my acne scars, but I'm not going to do that this time, and the reason being is because I don't like wasting product. If I can use as little product as I can, that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm just going to go right in with my foundation, and my foundation of choice today is L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear foundation. I love this foundation. It is definitely one of my favorites, and I really love it now because if you watched my acne skincare routine, this product is on the list of makeup products that don't break your skin out. Like, this is actually really good for your skin, and so I love that. So I'm gonna pump about 1.5 pumps, and by the way, this shade is 525, and I am no longer using a beauty sponge to apply my foundation, you guys. I'm gonna use my good old Real Techniques, let me get the exact name for you. This is their Expert Face Brush, and I mentioned this in an older video. I believe it was my everyday makeup routine for everyday Black women. This is such a great brush, you guys, and I'm literally just gonna stipple this on, and we're gonna worry about the acne scars in a second, but as of now, just go ahead and take one of your favorite foundations and apply a light layer first. I'm not going heavy with the coverage right now. I don't think this foundation is full coverage. I believe it's a medium buildable coverage, but that's what I like about it. And I wore this yesterday, and y'all, the skin, unbelievable. So the way that I do this, I'm literally just kind of like stamping it in. I'm not really buffing it in because buffing it can kind of move the product around, and it won't give you a nice even layer. So you're just stamping and kind of like pressing, kind of swiping it on, but not really. It's more of like a pressing motion. You just want to press the foundation into your skin, and this is going to give you the most beautiful skin-like finish. I promise this is a your skin but better technique. So again, I'm not worried about scar coverage yet. I am more so worried about the evenness of the foundation. So you just want to apply a nice even layer, and look at you guys, I didn't even use the whole 1.5 that I used on the back of my hand. Beautiful. I mean, that layer is just lovely. It's literally my skin but better. It just takes your skin to the next level. This is such a beautiful foundation for it to be drugstore. It is so pretty, and there's also an SPF in there, so you're getting everything that you ever want in a foundation with this one. All right, so now we're gonna focus on coverage. Now, if you have acne scars like me, or you know, just any kind of imperfections, you just want to take a full coverage concealer and spot conceal where necessary. So the foundation did a little bit of covering for me, but like I said, I like to look flawless and, you know, just everything covered, but I don't like my skin to look super cakey. I'm always like, I'm that girl who likes skin, you know, which is why I try to focus on, you know, making sure the texture of my skin is nice and flawless. And y'all, like, literally look at my skin. Oh my gosh. So again, I'm just using pressing motions. I'm not moving the product around. I am just pressing it into my skin. If you don't remember anything else that I say, press it into the skin. By the way, the concealer that I'm using is, of course, the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, and this one is in the shade Toffee. It's my perfect shade. So this is when you pull out the concealer that is your skin tone and not necessarily your highlight concealer. Absolutely stunning. I just love a good base that you can still see skin through, and look at the glow. Fabulous. And you know what? I don't mind some of my scars peeking through. Like over here, you can still see a little bit of my scars peeking through the foundation, and I don't mind that because, again, the goal is skin. It's not necessarily coverage, but this is the technique that you use when you do want coverage, but you still want to see skin. So even though I can still see a little bit of my scars peeking through, I'm just gonna leave it right here because that is okay. I am perfectly fine with that. All right, now we're gonna move on to highlighting. This step is specifically just to brighten up the center of my face, not necessarily to conceal underneath my eyes. I do have just a little bit of darkness underneath there, but again, this is just to brighten and to bring back that light into the center of my face. And so again, I'm gonna go in with my Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Maple. I'm gonna apply a little bit to my forehead area, and this is also gonna help with coverage in that area too, because this is a full coverage concealer. So forehead area, and then I'm gonna apply a little bit, like literally that's it. A little bit of concealer right underneath the eye, just in the inner portion. And then when you blend it out, because this is a full coverage concealer, it's going to disperse. And so you don't need to use, you know, a whole bunch of product. Okay, so I let this kind of like dry down a little bit. I don't like to necessarily blend it out while it's still super wet. It gives you a better blend that way. And then also too, it gives you a fuller coverage. So again, that you don't have to use as much product. So while this is drying down, I'm gonna actually go ahead and contour my nose. And this is a new product that I picked up from Ulta yesterday. This is the Makeup Revolution, let me see what this is. Fast Base Stick Foundation. And this is in the shade F18. This is my contour shade. Beautiful formula, you guys. This is so beautiful. So this is what it looks like. Such a stunning product. And I'm actually gonna use this Morphe M164 brush. This is what the brush looks like. I'm not sure if you can like actually see it, but it's just a nice flat angled brush. And I am going to go down the sides of my nose, and I like to take the product into my actual eyebrow. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend out the highlighter, and this is the same sponge that I used to apply the facial oil. And I'm just gonna start right in the center of my forehead and just blend that out. I absolutely love these mini sponges, you guys, and they're so inexpensive. I used to use these all the time back in the day, especially when I was taking clients. Oh my goodness, they're so good. And you get, I think, 4 in a pack. I'm not sure how much, or I don't remember how much it was, but I know that it was definitely under 10 bucks. So you get 4 little mini sponges for under $10, and they're so soft and good. So now I'm gonna blend out my highlight on my nose. Now it's gonna look a little unblended, especially around the edges. Don't focus on that right now, just focus on getting a nice blend. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do underneath my eyes. And you guys can see how beautifully this is just blending out. And then I'm also gonna take that onto the sides of my nose, kind of, you know, redefining that contour that we just did. Now this is something that I have a difficult time with. You wanna make sure that you keep your forehead down. Don't wrinkle your forehead up or pull your eyebrows up like this. like I do sometimes when I try to blend. It's very difficult not to, but especially if you haven't set your concealer up here, it's gonna crease in your forehead lines. And then if you try to, you know, apply the setting powder before you blend out the creases in your forehead, it's not gonna set right and it's gonna make you upset. Trust me, I've done it a million times. So just make sure your face is as flat and as still as possible. So now I'm gonna just take any excess product that I have on my sponge. I'm not putting any extra product on my chin. I'm just gonna highlight that area. And now to blend out the contour on my nose, I'm just gonna flip the sponge over, and on the flat side, I'm gonna take it and blend out the contour. And this has absolutely no product on it at all. Now we're gonna worry about those harsh edges. So you just wanna take the brush that you use to apply your foundation, and if you have any excess product on the back of your hand left from earlier, I just like to take a little bit on my brush and go right around the edges of the concealer. All right, so there we go. Nice, flawless. The light is back into our face and we look three-dimensional again. All right, so now we're gonna set everything. I'm gonna use my Danessa Myricks Evolution Setting Powder to set all of the areas that we just highlighted. This one is in the shade 3. So now I'm not gonna use my sponge yet. I'm just gonna use this Real Techniques setting brush, and it's a very light, fluffy setting brush. I'm gonna dip it into the powder, knock off the excess, girl. That's important. And then I'm gonna very, very lightly set the areas that we just highlighted. So we're not baking, we're not using the sponge to set the highlight. And this is because, especially if you have dry under eyes like I do, the baking and the using excess product, it's just going to make matters worse, and it's going to kind of highlight all of the dryness that you have going on. So I found that using a brush to set those areas helps you to use less product, but it also just helps you set the areas that you don't necessarily want shiny, you know? And as you can see, the areas are very well set. And now I'm gonna go in with my sponge one more time, knock off the excess, okay? Even just knock it off on the back of your hand and really press that powder in, okay? Because you don't want any creasing underneath there, and it's gonna happen if you don't properly set the area. And as you can see, oh my gosh, you guys, I wish you can see this in person. It is so smooth. It looks beautiful. Oh my goodness. This powder is so worth every penny. I believe it's maybe $38 or $42, but it's so worth it. If you guys don't know who Danessa Myricks is, she's one of my favorite artists, and she's just so fabulous. She makes some fabulous products, and I ended up snagging a few. Definitely check her out. I'm gonna have her products linked below. And then also too, don't forget to set the bridge of your nose. And then if you get creasy like me around the mouth area, just take a little bit of powder over there and go over that area. All right, so now we're gonna bronze or contour. Let me see. I'm gonna take that same Makeup Revolution foundation stick, and this is a Morphe M510, M510 brush. And I'm gonna use this to warm up the perimeter of my face. Now, I should probably use a different brush because this one is very fluffy. The bristles are long, and so it's not gonna be as dense. And if you're not like a pro, if you're not on a pro level, it's gonna kind of be hard to blend it out. But luckily for me, I kind of know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna use it anyway. But as you can see, it just warms up the perimeter nice and white, girl. And you definitely want to get in that hairline and, you know, just wash it out at the end of the day when you wash your face. Now this brush right here is actually made for powder, I think. This is the Morphe M449. but I'm just gonna use it for the contour because this one is much better when it comes to blending out. Duo fiber brushes are really good for cream products, so I don't know why they said this was about a brush anyway, but you see how beautifully this is just warming up the perimeter of my face. Now in the professional makeup world, we call this burning. We're burning the forehead. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of that on the brush and just begin to carve out my cheekbones. Yeah, I definitely like this brush better than the other one to, you know, blend out things. And again, we are not buffing it on using this motion. We're literally pressing this into the skin or stamping it on. Now I'm gonna go, now I'm gonna take any of the excess product. I'm not putting any more on my brush. I'm gonna take that onto my jawline. Now, if you feel like you go overboard on the contour, which I hate my contour being harsh, I'm just gonna take my foundation brush, not put any excess product on it, but just take whatever is left and literally go right over that contour, and that should fix everything. We're gonna set the contour areas, and I don't know, let's use my MAC small contour. This is, I don't know what number it is, but I know it's a small contour. I'm using my NARS bronzer, by the way. I forgot what shade it's in, so I apologize, but I am going right over the areas that I just used to contour. Right over my contour areas. And again, I'm just stamping, I'm not swiping. All right, so now I am going to use a little bit of my Danessa Myricks powder, knock off the excess, and just kind of clean up right underneath that contour area because I like that area to look nice, neat. And again, we are not baking at all, so I'm just gonna take my fan brush with no product on it and knock off any of that excess product. I am not going to set every area with my MAC Studio Fix because this is a full coverage powder. I have another one of these Morphe M510 brushes, so I'm just gonna very lightly, like literally tap, knock off the excess and just go over everything. I do not want to mattify this look at all. I just want to make sure that all of the products are nicely set, and there is the base. Now, with the exception of blush and highlighter, which we'll do at the end. There we go. All right, let's do something with the eyes really quickly. I'm just gonna use this brush with my leftover bronzer and just put that in the area because I like to go over my lids and, you know, just all of my eye space with the bronzer. Dang, I don't know what palette I want to use. I have this purple shirt on and I'm kind of feeling purple lately, so maybe we can do like a slight purple eye, maybe very slight. Okay, I have this Juvia's Place Berries palette. So pretty. I just keep this at my vanity because it's stunning. And again, I've been into purple and I've been saying I'm gonna do a purple look for a while. And then I also have my old faithful, one of my favorites. This is the Jaclyn Hill times Morphe, or Morphe times Jaclyn Hill. This is her Bling Boss palette. I have had this for I don't know how long. This is one of my favorite palettes ever. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna go into my Juvia's Place palette first. And I'm gonna work with this purple right here. I think I'm kind of feeling purple smoky eye maybe. So I'm gonna take this and just start building that color up. And I didn't apply any transition shade because my bronzer was basically the transition shade. So once that is laid down, and you can kind of see it a little bit, I think it's pretty. I'm gonna slap this into my crease. I love purple in my crease. It is just one of my favorite things. Ugh, it's so good. Look at that. I'm gonna use this shade. It's kind of like a mauvey pink shade. And this is one of my tricks. I just use any type of dusty ashy colored to blend out the harsh edges. And it looks so blown out and so gorgeous. Like, I can't. Look at that. I'm gonna deepen up that crease just a little bit more. There's that. Now, I don't know what color I want to put on my lid. Let's do Ballsy. Let me swatch it for you so you can see. This is in the Bling Boss palette, by the way. I'm gonna swatch it right here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's just a really pretty, like, duochrome. I had some gold in there. So I'm gonna apply this to my lid. Oh, yep, that's what I wanted. I always apply my shimmer shadows with my ring finger, or with my fingers in general. You guys know this if you've been here. The best way to get a good color payoff is applying the shimmer shades with your finger. All right, I'm gonna go in with this purplish shade in the palette. It's like a deep purple. It's called Rockstar, and just because I want a little bit more color in that crease, I'm gonna define the crease a little bit more. Now I'm gonna go back in with that Hush Hush shade, the Dusty Mauve. And again, just blend out the harshness that's going on. All right, now initially I didn't want any falsies, but I think I'm gonna put some on anyway. I'm gonna apply some eyeliner in my waterline really quick and smoke out the bottom lashes. Apply my lashes and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, my lashes are on. Ugh, I just love a good makeup day. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this look. All right, so let's finish off with some blush. We're gonna do a little bit of highlighter, we're gonna do the lips, and we're gonna call it a day. So because we have purple going on today, I'm gonna opt for an orange blush. This one is in the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Palette, Volume 2. And this is in the shade Towel. Something like that. It's an orange blush. Okay, you do an orange blush. I'm gonna start back here and then just sweep it on. I like to keep it up here now. By the way, this is a Bare Minerals Blooming Blush brush. So I'm gonna swipe it on, but then I'm gonna just end up doing my patting motion because I don't want to mess up the skin. All right, let's move on to highlighter. I don't think I used this beauty on my channel yet, but y'all, this has been one of my absolute favorite makeup purchases, like ever. This is the Danessa Myricks Lightwork highlighter palette. And just look at these highlighter shades. I wish y'all could see how stunning this is in person. Ugh, I gag. Now, something differently that I've been doing lately too is using a fan brush to apply my highlighter. And that's because I'm just not into like the whole striped, non-melted highlighter anymore. It's just not me. It doesn't do it for me anymore. Ooh, so what color do I want to use? I think I'm going to use the Cappuccino shade. So I'm just going to very lightly tap it and then knock off the excess. And then do you see how easily this just like applies? It's just like swipe, swipe, pat, pat. It's the fan brush for me. I don't know why everybody clowns a fan brush, because I mean, it just applies highlighter so beautifully in my opinion. All right, let's just go ahead and finish off with lips as soon as I find my daggone lip liner. All right, I'm just gonna do my infamous nude lip, KKW lip liner in the shade, oh, Nude 3. I said it was Nude 4. It's actually Nude 3, sorry. Now I'm gonna use my Beauty Bakerie lip whip in the shade Salted Caramel Mocha. Do y'all remember when I wore Anastasia Beverly Hills Sepia Liquid lipstick? This one is kind of a dupe for that. I wouldn't call it a dupe because they're pretty much like the same price. But I do still like the ABH one a little bit more, just because that's my favorite liquid lipstick formula. And last but not least, of course, I'm gonna top it out with a gloss. These glosses I saw at Ulta when I went, and I had to pick them up because of the tones. This is this is NYX's This Is Milky Gloss. This one is in the shade Cookies and Milk, and it's just a really, really pretty nude. So I'm gonna apply this. Look at that. Oh. I love a good nude gloss. Does it smell like cookies and milk? It smells like something, and it smells good. You know what? I'm not even going to set my makeup because there's no need. I mean, it looks good how it is, right? All right, you guys, so that wraps up this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you learned something new using my new technique or watching my new technique. I absolutely, like, I can't tell you how obsessed I am with just my new routine. Like, it just really makes me happy. It's so skin-like, it's so melted into the skin. It's still a really, you know, like glamorous beat, but you can still see skin. And I feel like I'm known for my really glamorous looks, but it's still, you know, nice and wearable, if you will. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. All right, if you guys have any questions about any of the products that I use, please make sure that you check the description box before you comment and ask, because most likely it'll be answered there. Go ahead and follow your girl on Instagram if you are not already. Stay tuned, y'all. I have some good stuff coming up, and I have something really exciting to announce later on, so make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. If you liked what you saw here, come on back, girl. We be having a good time. All right, I love you guys so much, and I appreciate you as always for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.